on, let's wait a few more minutes and then we will start. Okay, let's start. Welcome everyone to our final session this year. I will share the agenda and all the materials for today's session. Just a moment. I shared the presentation about string last time, but I will share it again just for you to not search for it again. So I will share it, and I will share the practical assignment as well. Okay, so now you have an agenda as well. The agenda as well. This one. Okay, so as you can see, the agenda for today is yesterday I've gone through your homeworks. For those who shared the homeworks with me in Bitbucket, I checked them all. I think everyone pushed the changes for this. For most of you that was fine. Yes, maybe some minor issues, but these issues are related to the things that were not finished. For all the things that were finished, it is plus minus fine. There are some comments we'll run through, but after I show you the solution. So there was 3 tasks, as you remember. There were 3 tasks. This one, and the branching, and the first one, the second one, and the third one. So I will keep open my second screen so I can read it and directly show the results. So the first one was about the days. It was just based on the day provided. You were supposed to find if the day provided is a working day or holiday. Sorry, this one. Okay, that's correct. So if the day is from 1 to 5, that's working day. Otherwise, it's holiday, it's weekend. And yeah, the start is the same as we usually do for scanner, just use scanner object, scanner class, we create scanner object here, then we just simply read the input from the console, and we get the value provided in console. Based on it, we first we do the validation. Yeah, you can create the statement this way, and that's fine. You can find different ways, just different combinations, that's also fine, but the idea is just simply that they must be from 1 to 7. So if day of week is any different number from this range, then need to print that the output is incorrect. And yeah, of course the program must be finished, so this is correct case, then we simply return them, return nothing. In this case, yeah, the error is not needed. Default case, yeah, you can, and yeah, after that the next task is to basically put the switches from 1 to 7, and there are different options how you can do it. You can create the same case for all of them, like this. Just that would be correct from the working perspective. Of course, in this case, we need to repeat the same code several times, which is not the best approach. You can escape it using case 1, then home, then case 2, case 3, and without break. So as you remember, if we don't put break, then we just simply go through. We continue going until we reach break statement. So in this case, that's correct. If we don't put break and we don't put any logic, that would be fine as well. That's fine as well, and that's really good if you select this approach. See the question. Yeah, it's on the screen. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much for finding me. A moment, I was on the screen. Okay, it should be better now. It is loading. Yeah, so you can use this approach. Another option is, and some of you use this option, if you simply separate them using comma, and in this case that's also correct. You'll have the same result. So this option is even more efficient. Check that it works exactly the same way. We enter 6 or 7, that would be holiday. So in this case, both options are fine. So about this task, and yeah, default case is not needed here because that would be in this range. So some of you wrote default case here. That's not needed because it is actually placed here. So default means other cases, and other cases outside the range of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be here in this range. That's why the default case is not needed here. Basically all the possible options at this point. Yeah? So we have any integer value here. Imagine we have any integer value. Then if the value is outside the range, then we go here. If the value is inside the range from 1 to 7, then we are here. and no other option is actually possible at this point. Basically at this point. Yeah. So when we are on line 19, we already know that we don't have any other value but from 1 to 7 in this variable. Yeah. So that's why no default case and no other cases are needed here. So that's about date tasks. Just maybe for this case, yeah, it was stated in the task that you have to use switch control. That's fine for practice, but if you have the ranges, like in this case you have the range from 1 to 5, that would be better if we use if statement. Yeah, of course for practice that's fine, and if you use this in real life that's also fine, but maybe more efficient would be if we use if else here. And so if day week is less than 6, then system on its working day. Oh, sorry. Brackets. And the last case would be else. Yes, that's how it be. So in this case you don't need to write all the numbers. You just simply can compare using comparison. But that's just a comment for real life. Yeah, that would be great if you think about not in this task, since this was written that you need to use switch statement. But if you have options, then it's really nice if you think about more efficient ways, how to the best approach you can imagine to do the tasks. Yeah. So in this case, this would be better. I mean, if you don't have the options, since that was written in the task that you must use switch, then it's fine. You need to use switch. But if you have the options, then that would be better if we use if, just because you don't need to write all the cases, since this is the range. But yeah, that's just a comment. And scanner must be closed. The question about the scanner. Scanner must be closed just before the program is over. In this case, as you can see, I put scanner pause because at this point the program is finished. So I want to pause the scanner before my program is finished. And the same is here. Just any point where the program is finished. So that will be. But again, for our case, it's not mandatory to close the scanners since we just use it in main method, so it won't be used anywhere else. So just for the such short examples, this is fine. But in case the scanner is used in many places, I mean, you can use it inside main method, you can use it somewhere in other methods which are called from this method. If you have the hierarchy, the flow which uses different methods, then of course we need to think about closing scanner. But since we just use scanner only here, it's not the problem if we don't close it. And the idea is just because we type something here, and of course to not have different falls from different objects, scanner objects, that that would be better if we close it. And so yeah, I will keep this code, yeah, and I will delete this code, because that was just for coming that this solution is correct. Okay, so this was the first one, and And the next one was about the grades. About the grades. So the idea is that there's the input from user. Input from user, again we use scanner, and we type grade. The grade may be A, B, C, D, E, F, and based on this grade, there will be the output. If the result is perfect, good, not so good, and fail. So you can simply run it. Something like the corresponding output will be here. And as otherwise there will be incorrect grade. And about the previous task, also about default statement, this option, you can also put this option on the default case. That would also be correct. So if we put it on the default case, I forgot to mention it. If you put it on the default case, that would also be correct. Also, as an option, as you can see, this is a shorter option, because here we have 2 lines and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. So this option is more efficient. That's just a comment. And about the grades, the same way, you just simply provide the grade and get the output. So the question from Weimar about the methods why and when more than one method is needed. This is really a good question, and this is mostly related to object-oriented programming if we don't talk about static statements. If we talk about static statements, then we can use them right now. Just private, public. Let's use private because we want to use the method outside the class. But you can create the methods. That's what you know. So, calculate, create, or something like that. It's type it or not calculate, but show result. Show result, and here we have the parameter grade, and we can basically put this code. We can put this code here, and so that's the code. And from here we can call the method show result. And we can do it this way. Again, since this is the static method, so we can provide the class name and call them like that. That's equivalent approach, as you remember. This one is the same as this one. That's maybe more precise because we provide the class name. So in this case, the output will be the same. But the main thing is, and for you to think, is that the methods, especially the static methods, are needed to split the code, and the answer to your question is why and when we need more than one method. The most simple answer is, and from your point to think about, is that if the part of code is used more than once, then of course we don't need to rewrite it like 2 or more times. If we have exact part of code which will be used in different part of the program, then we can use the method, the static methods in this case, and call it from different places. That's the most direct, the most understandable usage of the methods. when we need more than one method. It just means that methods are the parts of the code, parts of the code, which are reused in different places in your program. That's the key point. That's the main idea. So to not write the same code for different types, we can use the methods. Yeah, that would be. Of course, there are hundreds, no, not hundreds, but tens of usages of the methods, how we can use and why we do use it. But the first point is, and the main usage is, that if we have, again, the code which is used in different places, to not rewrite it for more than one time, we can create the method and call it something like that. Just like in this case, we call it 4 times, and to not rewrite it 4 times, can't integrate, and this code will be repeated 5 times or 4 times. So that's one point, and another point is maybe more simple, when we just need to split the logic. And the logic, it's better to split the logic where we have like tens or hundreds of lines of code. In this case, it's better to split the code in different methods just to make it easier to navigate. So the first point is to not rewrite the same code, and the second point is to navigate through the code more easily than just if we have direct flow from the beginning to the end. If we have methods, then that may be easier to, in some cases, that may be easier to navigate. Yeah, that's for static methods. For non-static methods, the usage is a little bit more complicated. But yeah, for the non-static methods, also these points are valid, to not rewrite the same code. But non-static methods have more properties, and of course more usages, but we'll talk about non-static methods in the topic of object-oriented programming. But we'll talk about it. So okay, that's about this task. If you have any questions, please write. And the last task was calculation. And the task was to we already done something similar. As you remember, was somewhere here, as I remember. Yeah, calculator switch. As you remember, we did almost the same task. But there was practically almost the same, just for P and for P, B, and C options. In this case, C option is not mentioned. It is not mentioned. Okay, I missed it. A moment. Okay, maybe let's go through all the other options, and then I will write it for S as well. So yeah, here the idea is the same as we had. Enter the first number, enter the second number, then put all the options which are valid, like P as well, B or S. So we type the character. Since this is one character, we will use char option. And then we again use switch in this case, and we have, based on the switch operator, we can provide the output. So for plus, minus, multiplication, division, that should be clear. The same as for modulo, and just simply put modulo. Yeah, the only difference is the operator in between them. And we have the outcome, and for the P operator, that The approach we use here is a little bit different. For P operator we need to print both elements. So in this case we can use format. If you want, you can also use the same print line, but element something like that. Yeah, you can combine. And you can combine the strings and the numeric values. So for P, as you remember, we need to print both elements, so we can do it this way. We can also use the parameters for formatting. It will also be fine. And yeah, so we have the output of both elements. For case B, it was it is needed to verify which element is bigger. So in this case, yeah, again, we use print line again, and then we print that the biggest element is, and we can use max option. We can also use we'll just comment out to have this as the option. We can also use this operator. As you remember, we have Boolean value, and then we have two cases. And brackets. No, that will be correct. So this is also the option, and as you remember, the syntax here is condition. If condition is true, then we have action is true. No. Is true, and then we have the action when true, and then we have action when false. So this is also the option how we can. Yeah, they could be equal as well, but unfortunately this case is not mentioned. Yeah, that's fine, but this case was not mentioned in the task. But I agree with you that we can also process the case when they are equal. But since it is not mentioned, then if elements are equal, then we assume that one of them is bigger than each of them is bigger than another element. So that's just the way how you define it. But yeah, I agree that they can be equal. In this case, for equal is not mentioned. So in this case, we can consider such case as well. Yeah, but that's just for practice. Yeah, we can use this option as well. But of course, we can also make it more precise, as mentioned by Anastasia. Again, we can rewrite this option and a little bit modify it. So we can make it a bit more complicated. So we can compare two, and then we can use the brackets. So if false, then this case. If true, then there's none of them. None of them. So in this case, I combine two options. So yeah, we check if number 1 equals number 2. So if true, then none of them. Yeah, so this is the case mentioned by Anastasi that both they are equal. If true, then we print none of them. If false, then we check which of them is bigger. So in this case, we know that none of them is that they are not equal. And here we simply check two cases. But again, for this option, you can improvise. You can have there's no unique solution. Again, you can write this way. You can calculate which is bigger, then check both options. If they're equal or not, that's also fine. Then as you want. So there's no unique solution. But this is maybe the most precise if we check if they're not equal. And the last one was the last case, and yeah, the same as previous, but which is smaller. So in this case, we just need to change one thing. Maybe can you point at which small thing we must change? Yes, number is not placed. Just one small thing must be changed here. Yeah, that's correct. Just need to change here to smaller, and this would be correct. Maybe let's check it. Oh no, that's not this one. This one. First number bigger, and the second 12. No, bigger. 34 is bigger. Let's do the same, but on the opposite way. It is smaller. Smaller element is 12. So this works correctly, and let's put same elements into 1. No, smaller. So this is practically it for this task. Yeah, about breaks. So in this case, I used break in case I don't need to print the result. Yeah, in this case I just use break. But in these cases, since I don't have something to be printed here, I just simply type return statement, which will basically finish the program. Okay. So that's it for the home task solution. Any questions about the solution? Solutions for all these tasks? If not, then I would like to quickly talk about some minor, not issues, but comments. What you had? Yeah, it was first comment is that it's nice if you type the comments. You can describe what you do here. Yeah, define scanner or something like that. Yeah. Scanner to add the option to write from the console. So that will be fine. It's good if you write the comments. That's a nice approach. If you don't try, that's also fine for small examples. Maybe when we have complicated logic with lots of different branches, lots of different falls, then in this case, that would be better if we use comments. For small examples like these, comments are not mandatory, but if you use them, that's fine as well. One more thing, just for your assignments, when you submit your assignments, it is not mandatory to put the commented code here. If you have something like that, you have the code which is not used, and you just simply commented. That would again, in your case, it's fine. It's for you, but on practice, that if you don't have anything to tell with this code, then it's you don't need to keep it in final version. It's better if you remove it. If you don't use it, if you submit your task, or just again, if you talk about the practical work in future, then in final version of the program you provide for the users. That will be great, that we don't keep code which is commented code which is unused. But for the practical tasks, just if we don't submit it to the customer, that's fine. So you can, but again, that would be better if for the final solution, so you don't use the code which is unused, and you have nothing to tell within this code. But that's just a small comment. That's not the issue. Just a small comment. Also, some of you kept the final cases, or not final cases, the test cases in final version of the task. Like if you test it yourself, like you declare the numbers, you test it for different cases, not different, but you just directly assign the values from the code. Again, for the testing purposes, that's fine, but for the final version, you don't need to keep them. The same as with the commented code, which isn't used. If you have test cases used in your, you actually hard-code it in your logic, then you don't need to keep them in final version. But that's not the issue, since we are learning. That's absolutely fine. But now I'm mostly talking about the real life scenarios, real projects. Again, don't need to keep unused code, and of course some test cases also are not needed and not recommended. So that's about the comments, about the test cases, but that's just small comments. It's not the issue. These are not the issues. What else? Let me check. You don't need to declare variables which are not used. That's also the valid case. And I think there were no other. And one more thing about formatting, please. So that I would like to ask you to format the code. As you remember, if you have something like that, just if you have unformatted code, something like that, it may be just if the blocks are placed in chaotic order, that's not great. That's not great, and it's hard to read this code. It's hard to distinguish the blocks. So in this case, please don't forget about the formatting. as you remember, Ctrl-Shift-F, and your code is formatted now. Please don't forget about formatting. That's just because it's easier to read the code. In real life, that's in final versions of the code in real life, in real projects, when the code is delivered to the production system, that may be I would say crucial. I would say crucial because the code must be perfect in final versions. But of course, for the developers, it's needed for the developers who read the code, and if others read the code must be readable. And in this case, the formatted code is obviously more readable than not formatted. That's just the comment. Okay, so now that's it about the home task. So there's nothing more to say from my side. And now we can continue with the strings. We started last time. So as you remember, we started talking about strings. We already used string in so many ways. As you remember, we put here, and like here we calculate not calculate, but we get the character from string, and that's the string. Then we calculate the length of the string, and so on and so on. So we already used different options from the string, and that's because string is not the primitive data type. As you remember, that's the reference type. So it means that it's not as simple as primitive type. It has string objects. Strings do have the methods, so you can call the methods. As you remember, so last time we have the methods. So we have, that's because strings are objects and reference variables. So these are the objects. String is the class. And that's maybe also one of the answers to Lima. Why do we use the methods? Because for the strings we also have the methods. So these also are the methods which belong to string. So we have the methods here. The methods pointed with S are static methods. So static methods can be called directly from the class. If we type string, and the same as with basic class. So string is the class and basic is class as well. So basic has the methods, and the method class, that's the method which is inherited from the base class. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But main method, so we have main method, the same with basic class. We can call the method the same as for the string. Since this is the class, we can call the methods from this class. And these are static methods. As you can see, static methods can be called from the string class directly, without the string. So as you can see here, we don't have any string assigned to this class, but we have the class string. But here we have the string, which is the variable, which is the object, this one. So, and here we have non-static methods, which are related to the exact string. In this case, this is the exact string, and it's my name, and string the set of the characters. So, and this is the first step when we talk about object-oriented programming. again, when we talk directly about string class, we have static methods only. When we talk about the object string, then we have additional methods which are non-static methods. But we also have static methods, but static methods are not assigned to this the exact string. These are just from string class. So static methods are the methods which belong to the class, and the non-static methods are the methods which belong to the object. In this case, that's the string object. So this is the object. This guy, and yeah, you can call them using the variable. So yeah, and here we have the method. So this is the main difference between primitive data, not the main, but yeah, the main advantage over the primitive data types is that we have the methods which can do some actions for us. We use some of them already in char add, that's the method, which based on the string which are under this variable, we can get the exact character. Yeah, many different methods. We will use them a little bit later. Yeah, that's the beginning of the talk about the strings, and yeah, last time we finished with the formatting. So the formatting is used when we mostly when we concatenate the strings. Again, we can escape formatting by simply string combination, something like that. Yeah, maybe we can start with null. We'll talk a little bit later about null. Yeah, so right here we can combine different values. Something like this. Yeah, so in this case we combine 3 elements, and we don't print it as well. And maybe to not confuse you, we can do it directly from here. Just not have unneeded step. Yeah, do it directly from here. And if we run the program, then back and put the space here as well. So yeah, in this case you can see that the values are not splitted. That's because we don't have any spacing between them. So we can add this space in between them. We can add the space, and comma. Yeah, so we have set values. So in this case, we combined the 3 elements, four elements, yeah. First, second, third, and fourth elements. So these elements are doubles, double and fold, and these are the strings. So in this case, oh no, this is the string as well, sorry. The string as well. Here's my step, so this will be better. So this is the double, and this is the double. So just print it out all the decimal places after the integer part. So this is the basic case when we can combine the strings with other types, and the result we will have the string value. So if we combine string with any other values, then we will have the string as the result. So in this case, that's the simple approach. Also, we can use formatting, and the formatting works in the similar way, with one exception, that it has more precise formats, as we already used them in the last session. But for now, let's have the break, and after the break, we will repeat the formatting option. Let's have the break now. Okay, let's continue. So the main case, not the main case, but the case we mostly use is then we just simply combine the different variables into strings, But for in some cases we need to use the formatting, and that's the case. For example, when we work with the faulting variables, like fault, double, fault and double. So yeah, why do we need it? Just simply because that in some cases we need to have limited number of the decimal digits, like something like that. If we have 0.123456 then for the price unit we want to use 0.12, and to solve this problem, we can use format, and this will just simply reduce the non-used digits, like in this case you can see. But the actual usage of the formatting may be more advanced. Like in this case, if we use string class, we use static method format. This will allow us to combine the different values, with different variables. So, as the example, let's directly use this example. Let me just copy it. So we can have the text. And the output, string. So in this case we have the text, and inside the text we have the parameters. So this is the approach used in strings. That's a really common approach when we have the parameters inside the text. Maybe it's not only about strings in Java, but if we talk about the messages, mostly this is used in web messages, like any message you have, mostly error messages or any notification messages you have on web pages. There's some text, and I hope you understand that the text may be but should not be unique. Like you have text which contains some parameters, like for example the name, the username. You log into some page, then you have the message on this page that this user, so that your username must do this, must do that, or just any other information to be provided. So the idea is that we have the string, and inside the string we have the parameters. That's used when we have some notifications. And this is how it is done. So we have the string, we have the method format, and this is really interesting method because in this case we can have unlimited number of arguments. That comes from the method. method decoration. As you can see, first we have format, so the first one must be the string with the with or even without the parameters. If you don't use the parameters here, that should be fine as well. I mean, that's you won't have any errors, but there can be an unlimited number of arguments, like in this case. You can add even more arguments. My name is name. Let's print it and see the result. So instead of these parameters, there will be the values of these arguments, name, age, graduate level, and so on. So in this case, that's this case. But again, you can have a limited number of the arguments. So maybe let me declare another variable. I will show it another string format, and here I can have the text value 1 equals. Then we can have a numeric value. For numeric values, we use d. Again. So value d and value 2 can also be d. The name is not important here. Names are not important, so something like 32 and 91. I will print it. Then so I forgot. Print it. Moments. And we'll see that these values will be placed on these positions. So there are no any keys here, just the sequence. So the idea is just simple. We have the sequence of the arguments here, and each argument will be placed on the corresponding place here. So the first one will be here. We just simply count them. Second one will be here, and if we have more than third one will be on third parameter, and so on and so on. So basically the idea is that we have the sequence of the parameters, unlimited sequence, and we can have as many arguments as we want to have after the string, and then just simply the values will be used inside the string. So only sequence matters in this case, and nothing more. Okay, so this is, and of course, if you, based on your wishes, you can have the decimal argument here. It's floating. Then it will just simply format the value into correct way. And so that's it about formatting. Any questions about formatting? If not, then let's continue. Yeah, so for string we use S, for character we use C, for decimal or any numeric value we use D. And so yeah, this is the next slide is about the fact that string is not the primitive type, that's the reference type. So the idea from the memory point of view for primitive type is when we declare the variable, we assign the value to this variable, so the variable is placed under some exact position in the memory. So we have the variable, we have the value, we assign the value to this variable, then this variable is placed inside the memory. Just the correct place, and we just simply access this place when we work with this variable. For the reference type, it works a little bit differently. The idea is that we just don't have the simple one place inside the memory, but we have the address, which actually includes the place inside the memory where the corresponding variables are corresponding values are stored. So the string is one of these examples. The string type is one of these examples. We have the name John. Then we have the variable. So this is the place where actually we assign this pointer. That's the reference to the memory. So and then we under this reference it is stored as 1, 2, 3. That's just the reference to the memory. So under this reference the sequence of the characters is stored. And so there are sequence 1, 2, 3 with 4 characters. So then we have the pointer to these characters, to this sequence, and then we assign this pointer to the variable name. So that's the idea how the reference type works. We have some values under the inside the memory. For these values, we have the unique, maybe not. Actually, the statement unique pointers. It's actually only partially clear because, as you remember for the strings, when we have the string which is A, B, C, D, something like that, then we have string B, which is E, F, G, something like that. Then we have another string C, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then if we compare the concatenation of A plus B to C, so if we compare them, we'll see that the result will be false. That's because when Java concatenates the strings or any other objects into strings, so when we have the string and the result of the concatenation, it means that new object, new place in the memory is reserved, and then it will have different place inside the memory, and that's why it is false. So in this case, this guy and concatenation of these characters are placed in different places. That's why they are not the same. And maybe just to make it more clear, let's declare a new variable. Maybe just to not confuse you with the concatenation directly. If we do it this way, these are equivalent phase, and so the result is still false. Maybe just to make it more clear for you again, we'll print this AB, and again we'll see that AB equals ABCD of G, but A, B, C, D, E, F, G string is not the same as A, B, C, D, E, F, G string, this one, which is concatenated from A and B. And again, that's because when we declare the string, then we have the pointer to the memory, the reference to the memory. If we concatenate the strings, we create new object. Yes, we declare new reference to the memory, and that's why the output is correct, because Java compares pointers. Java do not compare Java does not compare the values. The values are not compared, only the pointers, the references are compared. And yeah, that's the reason. That's the reason. Yeah, for Java, it doesn't matter what is the content of these under these pointers. If they are different, if the references are different, Java will simply say that variables are not the same. As you remember, to escape it, we can use the method equals, which will simply compare the content of these variables. That's why it is true. So here we compare the references stored under the variables, and here we actually compare the content stored under the references. So again, remember, for the reference type we have three main pieces of our program. And the first one is the variable, which is basically the place where the reference is stored. Then we have the pointer, the object, which has the reference, which is stored under the variable. So this is the second thing. And then we have the third thing, which is the value, which is stored under the reference. So I will write it here. So this is really important now for all the reference types. Variable stores the references to the memory. Also called objects. We call them objects because these are for the classes. And the second point is that reference it actually points to the values, but we can call it the stores, and it would be understandable as well. References stored maybe singular reference stores the values. That's in the case of strings. That's actually that we have variable. We put the reference again. Then under the reference we have these characters A, B, C, D. Okay. So that's why for the strings we have this different behavior. So next one is primitive and reference values saving into the memory. The option, the question is there an option to not save the address? Yes, so we can simply use null value. It actually means that we don't have any pointer, any object, any reference assigned to the variable. So it means that we have nothing under the field under the variable. And we have nothing under the variable. Just 2 seconds. Okay, that's fine. So yeah, null means that we have nothing under our variable. We'll just initialize it with nothing. If we try to access this then we will have the exception. Sorry. When we try to access it, then we will have the exception because that's null. Null pointer, you will have null pointer exception. That's not only for strings, for all the objects which are the value of which are null. If you try to access them, you'll have this null pointer exception. The same is for string, but you can use it for the initialization. Like if you, for the compiler, if you don't initialize the string at all, the compiler will not allow you to compile the program, because compiler works this way, that it checks if you have any value assigned. If you assign null, the program will be compiled, but you will have the error if something is wrong. No, not if something is wrong, but you have the error if the value is null. Yeah, so it means that it's not possible to get the value because you just have nothing under it. And the only connection is the address. This one, that is this 1 to 3. In more general way, it looks. Maybe I will show you. And I'll create an object. Check reference. That's just example to show you how the reference looks like. And don't need to repeat it. We'll talk about this in object-oriented topic. But here I just create new object from basic class until I will print this object. And sorry. Yeah. I'll point that this produces null pointer exception. So let's run it now, and yeah, you can see that this is how the reference looks for Java program. So something like crazy characters, some crazy sequence of the characters. That's just to show you how the reference looks like. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, it's called reference. Also, you can call them objects. So if we have, this is the reference. In this case, you can see that the pointer to the memory is the reference, but the actual sequence of the characters we can call it object. It's not only for strings. If we have any object with the reference to the class, then we call it the object. That's just a combination of the objects are just the combination of all the values under the reference. If it's string or any other class, then we call it object. And so string is the object as well. So in case I say reference or object, I mean the same things. That's just a combination, the combination of all the values assigned to the reference. But yeah, mostly I use the terms reference and objects the same way. So please forgive me if that makes confusing for you, but in most cases reference and objects are considered as the synonyms, just the values created, the reference values created inside the memory. And let's go to the regular expressions. Yeah, last time we had some issues with them, but we can use them, and especially when we work with the inputs. Like if we have, in this case you can see the picture, tweets, mails, so something is the places where users place the information. Like if you have a form inside the web, I will show you one of the examples. Okay, I will just explain you. If you order something from an internet shop, then you need to provide the details about yourself, the postal code, just shipping address, and something like that. So if you have the shipping address, of course, shipping address or postal codes, especially the postal codes, the format for the postal codes is unique and it must be correct. So the user must provide the correct postal code, for example. So in this case, the program must check if the format, of course the program will not check if you entered the right postal code, but the program can check if at least the format you entered is correct. So, and something similar is for the email. Of course, if you enter the email, then of course the program can check if the format you entered is correct. Like in this case, it's incorrect because we don't have at symbol. So at symbol is missed. So the right format would be the recipient name. Next slide. Recipient name. Then we have at. Then we have domain name and top level domain. COM, LD, or something like that. So this format is correct. And the first question is, how can we check it? How can we check it? And let's check it. We'll write program which will check as regular expressions. So I will use scanner again. Simply copy it. And copy all of the heads. Create my methods. Scanner class. Class to scanner end. And I'll ask users to enter the email. And then I'll check if the format on the email is correct. There's Next one. No, sorry. Here's the issue. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay. So next one is lowercase. Okay, so now I enter the email, and now I can check the pattern. So to check the pattern, I call the method matches, and here I provide the regular expression. So what can I check? I can check first of all that the pattern, the string starts with the characters. So I can characters or numbers. So then I check the string, not the string but add symbol. We should have, first of all, I type plus that we have multiple characters. Then I type add, which must be in between. So we have set of the characters and numbers. Again, we can have the characters and the numbers. After that, we can have the characters and the numbers again. Then we must have dot, and then we can have the domain. Then again we can have domain, but for the domain we cannot use the numbers. That's why here I skip the numbers. Let's check. Email is correct. Then I will output that the email is incorrect. So I thought that this one is fine. I provided here. Let's check. No, sorry, not this one. This one. The email. That's fine. Email is correct. So if we type something like that, email is incorrect. Email is incorrect because we don't have at in between the characters. So if we miss at, then it's still incorrect because we don't have at in between the characters. Just a moment, let's also check. Domain without. Okay, that one is correct. Why the dot is not checked for some reason? Okay, that's because dot is escape character. I think. A moment, let me check. Check. Yeah, dots are yeah, dots are escape character, are meta character. That's why we need to use. We need to escape it. Escape it. Should work. So. That should not work. I will use square brackets. So we can use square brackets as well. Let's check. Yeah, now it's incorrect. And if we type the correct pattern, .com. Yeah, now it's correct. Yeah, please note that dot is the character. Meta character means that it can be used as the parameter, as the parameter which does some things. Yeah, we will see these things a little bit later, but yeah, just to use dot as the character, use dot as the character, we can put it inside the brackets. So yeah, this is the way how we can define the pattern for the for the strings, and for example for the emails. So what do we have here? Here I define that we can, the string. Here we define the construction of the string. So the construction here must be the same. The string must match the construction of this regular expression. And what do we actually have here? Here we check if we have, so we have A to Z in lowercase, and then we have A to Z in uppercase, and then we have from 0 to 9. What does it mean? It means that, and we have plus at the end. It means that we can have unlimited number of letters and digits. That's correct, because we can have an unlimited number of letters and digits in the place of the recipient. Right here, place of the recipient. But name, letters and digits. Then we must have at symbol. So we have a limited number of characters. Then after these characters are placed, we must stop at. We must have the at symbol. This, if we let's quickly check if we miss it. No at. Symbols again, not something. Yeah, it's incorrect because we don't have at symbol in between. So as what it shows here, again we have at symbol, and after at symbol we have the again the unlimited number of characters, not characters but the letters and digits after at. So in this case we in fact have characters, letters and digits which are separated by at. This is basically how it works with the email. We have letters and digits here. We have the letters and digits here, and they are separated by at. This is what I wrote here. We have characters here, a limited number of digits and letters. The same I have here, and I have at in between, which actually means that we must the at must be in between them. We don't define in specific return how these vectors and digits must look like, but we just know that they are limited. They can be here. So this is for the first part. For the first part, and the last part is dot something again. We can have the domain. For the domains, as I remember, we cannot use digits, and that's why here I just simply provide the letters from A to Z, lowercase and uppercase. Yeah, I think even more we cannot use uppercase here. Oh, that's one more addition. Yeah, we cannot use uppercase for the domains. And that's why I skip it. So we have dot, which must be for the top level domain. Yeah, so we must have the dot in between them. So I will comment it. I'll comment here. For emails. We have recipient. Any letters, uppercase and lowercase. Yeah, then we have at symbol. So yeah, I will type it here and I'll type it this way. So it is defined using this pattern. It's fine using, then we have at symbol. I'll just simply type it the same way. Yeah. Then we have domain. Let's this one. Lowercase only. And it is defined this way. Then we have dot. This one. And then we have top level domain, which is defined as from A to Z. So that's one of the examples how we can use regular expressions. So it basically, this is also the string, but from the set point of view, this will be the set of all the strings which match this pattern. So it actually means that in place of this place, we can place any string plus letters in uppercase, lowercase, and numbers. Then we have at, which cannot be changed; it must be here. Then we have domain name and set of letters in lowercase and digits. We have a dot, and we have top level domain, A to Z letters in lowercase, and that's it. So it again last time, let's check it. Domain, yeah, email is correct. That means that the term matches the our string matches the pattern. Yeah. So, and one of the examples also is the IBN number. So let's also check it. As we know, maybe let me enter it from the console. So I will use it. I'll copy this one. String and try this. Internet bank number is correct and it's incorrect. And here I'll construct a new pattern. So as we know for the second screen just to see, we must have two vectors. We must have two vectors at the beginning, which are in uppercase. So in this case I define the alphabet. The alphabet is A to Z, only uppercase vectors. And instead of plus, as you know we previously used plus, that's for the case when we don't know the number of the characters we have. In this case we can use plus. If we know the number of the characters, we can use the brackets, and inside the brackets we have the number of the characters. In this case there are two characters, so we use braces, and we define how many characters we do have here, and we know that we have two characters. And then we have two numbers, or two digits, and again we define the alphabet from 0 to 9. The alphabet in this case is digits from 0 to 9, and the same way we define how many digits we have on this position. So yeah, on the first two positions we must have the letters, then on the third and the fourth position we'll have the digits, and then we have we must have four characters, four letters in uppercase. So under the pattern, so we define it again in this way, four letters in uppercase, and the last one is 13 digits in just for 14 digits. And this is the pattern which can be used to check the input. So let's start the input. In this case input is incorrect. Let's check why. Oh, sorry, that's that's the email. Okay, I will comment it. Yeah, let's run it again. Sorry, once again. Oh yeah, I forgot to ask users to enter the address of the bank. Let's see. So let's run it now. check, and yeah, this one is correct because here we have two letters in uppercase. That's correct. Then we have two integers, 2 digits. That's correct. Then we have four letters. That's also correct. Then we have 13 digits. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 12, 13, or 14 digits. Yeah, that's correct. If we type something different, then that's incorrect because we have V in lowercase, but we have the alphabet, which is defined only with uppercase letters. And so that's the example we have here. Okay, let's have the break now. Let's continue after the break. Okay, let's move on. So let's go back to the presentation. This one. So yeah, and in the presentation you can see the regular expression return. So we can use it. Okay, this is it for the presentation for today. We'll have practical assignment now. Any questions about the theory part of strings? About the regular expressions, we'll have more examples during the practical tasks, but any questions about the theory of strings? Any unclear details? Just any questions? Okay, then if not, we will move to the practical assignment. Okay. This one. Oh yeah, one more thing before we finish. I'm not sure if I mentioned about from the basics. I'm not sure if I mentioned about constant variables. Maybe just to not forget that. I'm not sure if I mentioned, but I think no. This is quite important. Yeah, I think I definitely mentioned, but I think I did not mention it just with explanation. Yeah, so just do not miss it, because we will definitely use the constants after later as well. Just do not miss it. I will talk about them now. So the idea of the constants is similar that we have with the variables, but when we have the variable, let's have integer. So we have the variable, we can initialize it during the initialization, during the definition, and then after in the code we can change it. If we have the constant, we declare it using just the same way as we declare the variables, but with the difference that we have final. In this case, it means that this is the constant, and usually we name constants in uppercase. That's just naming convention. Constant. It doesn't matter how you name it, but it's better if we name constant using uppercase letters. That's just naming convention. It's not mandatory, it's just recommended. And in this case, if we want to change it, obviously we cannot do it. We can't change it because it is declared as final. So the final variables cannot be changed. But that's That's the main difference. The main difference from the simple variables, that final variables cannot be changed if they are initialized. If they are not initialized, let's initialize and cannot be changed after. If we declare variable and don't initialize it, in this case, if I initialize it for the first time, I can do it. Well, but only once, yeah. It's not initialized, it can be changed after, but only once. So this is really important. If I try to change it again, cannot do it because it's final. Change it as slowly sent before. And that's practically it about constants. So the constants may also be declared inside the class as static variables, as reference variables, as instance variables as well. They can be declared, but again, the idea is for all the constants, the idea is constants variable can only be assigned once. There's no way we can change it, no way we can switch it or modify it. If we declare it once, the variable cannot be modified anymore. So this is about constants, a small comment, small introduction, small description about the constants. We'll use them, but yeah, this is the description. The question for you may be, why do we need constants? Because why we just don't declare the variable and simply use it? Here is the question. This is the question related to reusability of the code, reusability and the style how we write the code. Of course, again, from the functional point of view, there's no difference if we use constant or we do not use constant. Just we can simply, if you have like the project with one developer or just something like that, or it's only your code and no other developers use your code, then you know that this is the variable which should not be changed, and you can escape changing it. But in case your code is used by tens or maybe hundreds, yeah, it's possible, hundreds of other developers, and your code may be changed by them. So, and you cannot tell anyone to not change this variable. Of course, you can type the comment, but the comment may be missed. So in this case, sometimes may accidentally, or someone can accidentally try to change the variable. So in this case, the variable will be changed and the code will be broken. Yeah, because the idea of your code is that the value is not changed, but it actually is changed. So that's why to make it strict, in this case we strictly define that we have constant, and others will understand that once it is initialized, we don't change it. Yeah, so that's the first reason why when we use the constants. Yeah, when we just simply by the logic of our program we don't want to change them. And the second option is mostly used under the classes. Like in this case, we have class and we have static string. And we got the local host address, host and address. And here now that the address is 127.0.0. How many zeros go there? 2 zeros and 1 at the end. So under the class, we define the constant, and you can see that comparing to the simple variables, static string, something like that. You can see that even the color is different. Here we have like bolded variable, but here we have just variable in italic. So that's also the case. And in some, just from experience, there are the classes. The classes where not only the constant, but constants, but there are a bunch of constants declared, and then we can simply use them. So the idea may be that you have the class of constants, something like that. Class of constants, or in some case we also use enums, but we'll talk a little bit later about enums in our practical assignment. There's also the option to declare enums, but if we have the class with the methods, and then we can also declare the constants inside. In this case, the constants are used just for the developers to use the constants in different places in our logic, in different classes, or inside this class, or in different classes as well. So again, we simply declare the constant. We point to other developers that these constants are not cannot be changed. And, we just simply don't want to change them. So we declare the constants and we use them. And the simple example of the constant is localhost address. We know that for the computers, for most of the computers, localhost address is 127.0.0.1. So we can simply define it as a constant and do not change it. Just to not. And the idea is that if you type the code, not even in this class, but something like here, and suddenly I want to get localhost address, so I don't remember that it is 127.0.0.1. I simply use, I know that I have the constant class, I have the constants class, and from here I can access the constant, and voila, I have the value for localhost address. I don't remember, for example, what is the value of localhost address, but I use the constant, and the constant just simply has this value. I can use this value in different classes, in the same class. So here's the example. So the idea, declare it in one place and use in different places without any restrictions. If we talk about the variables, that the variables but it's better if the variables are initialized. For the constants, we just simply declare them and use them in the way we want. So I will type comment. Instance to place the common values which are used in different classes, methods, and so on. Methods just not write the same values. Yeah, it's one constant, it's one value. If we have multiple constants that there are different values, same values which are fixed. Yeah? It's important point which are fixed. So the values are fixed at localhost again, and they are not changeable. So not write the same values multiple times, but simply use one constant. And that's it. So that's about the constants. Also really important thing which are widely used in programming. That's not only for Java, but in all the I'm not sure if all the, but in most of the programming languages definitely. Okay, so that's about the constants. Any questions about constants? That's just a small topic which is outside string topic. Just as I forgot to mention, to describe you the constants, the meaning of constants. For now, I hope it's more clear for you. Alright, so if there are no questions, then we can move to the assignment. And let's start with the first task, assignment number 1. So I will use strings package, and here I will so the task is this file. Assign string and first task. So the task is write a program to process string variables. So we have the array of strings. We need to create the array of strings. So let's do it. And here I will write the values to the array. Computer, first one, then just wait, chair, girl, boy, cat, stop, shirt, termination. Okay, so now we declare the array. So task is to find how many values starting with C. So we'll have the counter and count C. We'll start with 0, and we need to go through all the strings from the array. So we'll use a loop again. And I will use for each, and the value is C. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, right here. I think I don't even need the brackets because we'll have one statement. If value starting, so it means that we use char at 0, and if it is C, Then we increment counter. So let's print out and check how many values strings start with C. Are once which starting with C. Okay, so let's check it. Yeah, there are 3 words. 1, 2, 3. That's correct. And yeah, maybe you can, some of you cannot understand why don't we use brackets, because here I just have one statement. Yeah, as you know that we have if, which is which finishes here. So in this case, this is considered as one statement. That's why we don't use the brackets here, because we have only one statement. This is only one statement. After we finish the statement with semicolon, then this is one statement and it is over. Before we finish this semicolon, we don't mandatory, we don't need the brackets. Of course we can type brackets, but not needed in this case. So that's the first task. Find how many values starting with C. Yeah. We just simply go through all the elements. We process each element value, and we use again char add. And as you remember, char add actually finds the character which is placed at the position provided in the brackets. In this case we provide 0, it means that this is the first character. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's go to the second one. Second is find out how many values are ending with E. So in this case we will use more tricky approach, because we need to find the last one, and the last one is let's check. Yeah, in this case we can for starts with and ends with we can use the methods. That's fine, but we can also use char add again, but in this case we will do it in the way that we calculate the length of the string, and we subtract 1, because we know that we start at 0, that's why we finish at length minus 1. And I will also declare count E. Once ending with let's check. Okay, there's one word ending with E. That's correct. This one. Only one word. Yeah, so just maybe to this alternative approach. Yeah, we can use this approach. And we can also use this approach as well, using start method, and in this case we need starts with. In this case I will provide C. So this equivalent result is the same, equivalent approach. Simply we can use this one as well. So the result will be the same. We can use char add to check the character, but we can also use starts with. That's the method which provides us the same. And the similar here. Yeah, I will use and Swiss, and here we type. Let's check. Yeah, the result is the same. I'll just simply copy comments here. Both options are fine, but yeah, the small differences is that this method returns the character, because we point which character to return. In this case, it returns the first character, and it returns this character, and then we compare this character with the character provided on the right side of the comparison operator. But here, if we use start with, then we need to provide the character as the parameter to the method, or not the character, but the string. Actually, here we can also check. Yeah, we can also check another Bible for you to understand. CH. So here I will. Sorry, not here, but here. Just make it correctly. So in this case, I will type CH. And in this case, we understand it. CH starting with CH. So let's run it, and we'll see that we have only one word which starts with CH. So using char at, we can check only one we want to check. First character provide 0, second character provide 1, and so on. But using start with, can check the string part of the string as well. So yeah, that's you can see if we have character, we use singular quotation marks. If we type strings, we use double quotation marks. So, and yeah, that's the difference. Using start with and end with, the same as end with, we can check any substring with as many characters as we want. That's the difference. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Find out how many values are with length 5. Okay, so let's have a loop. I'll start with 0, and yeah, here basically the only option we can use is one, and we'll I will use counting and just have the same namings for all of them. Plus, and here I will compare lines with 5. So since just one small comment. Since here we have the character. Since we have the character, we can compare the character using the comparison operator. That's fine, because again there's only one character. Characters, not references, we can use the comparison operator. Not with the strings. Yeah, remember, with the strings we don't use comparison operator. But for the characters we can use it. And here we don't even use the comparison operator. That's why that's correct for us. And here again we use the comparison operator. We can use it because we don't have the reference type, we just have integer value, which is a primitive type. We can check it by going to decoration. Go to decoration, you can see that the output is int. This is primitive type. Again, if you want, you can press Ctrl, open decoration, you will see the definition of the method. So again, I will get and compare it. Compare it. If true, then we go here and we increment. And the last one is printed here. Towards here. So let's check how many do we have. 3 words. Let's check one, this one, and this one. Yeah, so we have 3 words. That's this one. The next one is how many vowels contain character E. So this is more tricky. Declare, just since we have multiple, we can declare them this way, which will be better for us. The next one is count. Let's declare this way, and then I will declare the wall. And we can use so-called char sequence. So we can use not contains, and use contains, and we implement these. So in this case we can use contains, and let's print out how many do we have. Words. Contain 30. In theory, an alternative approach would be so this again you can see short approach. Just first let's test it before we change it. Let's test it. Let's see our 3 words. First one, second one, and the third one. That's correct, we have 3 words. So this is the simple approach. And just if we don't want to use the if we don't want to use the built-in methods, we can define the logic by ourselves. Then we can create the cycle inside, or even more. We can also use this approach. Value. C for value, and here we can call the method get get chars. Maybe let's make it simple, more simple. Let's just simply declare the simple int I equals 0, I this one's then the array. So we'll just simply go through all the characters of our string. And we can we'll go through. So if now char at I equals e, so in this case we increment count es, and one more thing what we do. In this case this logic will be incorrect because here we go at each for each value inside the array, as you can see here, but inside this loop we go through, for each value we go through each character of this value and basically check every character of the value. But what the problem is? The problem is that if there's if we reached one character e, we will not we can have two e characters inside the string. In this case, this will be incremented twice, which is not correct. For one string, we can increment it only once. So in this case, what we can do, we want to go out of this loop, and to go out of this loop, in some programs there's so-called exit. In our case, it is break. In Java, it is break, and for loops, break means that we break this loop, so we finish this loop. Yeah, regardless how many iterations are declared here. If break is executed, we will finish this cycle. So let's check. Should have the same result. Yeah, we have the same result. So the idea for loops is here, if break is reached, we finish. Go. Let's call we can call go out of the loop we are currently in. Not all the loops. Please note that we don't go out of all the loops. We go out of this loop, we finish, we break this loop, but we don't break this loop. Yeah, just only the loop we are currently in. We are currently in this loop, so it will go out of this loop. It will break this loop. So I'll stop here. Go through all the characters of the string. And if character is occurred, break increment and break the current loop. Where we go through all the characters. Characters of string. So that's that's the idea. But of course, we have a simple way. We can use this one. So this one just more precisely describes what we do here. Actually, this program does this. This method does the same as we have here. So nothing. Here the only difference is that here we check one character. Here we again can check substring. And just the same. Does the same. Just approach about. Okay, so that's about one character. And the next one is find out is there any element which consists the substring te. So this is a little bit different. So, te substring. And for this one, that will not be easy to use such approach like this. So we'll stick with this way. And so if previously we used one character e, here we can use substring as well. Contains, and here we can use te as the substring. So in this case, we'll increment te and print out the result. There are words which contain substring te. Let's check it. Okay, there are 3 words. Let's check. 1, 2, and 2 and 3. And that's correct. And we can use contains method for single characters, but we can also use it for the substring. In this case, we can type any substring and check if the string contains this substring. Okay, this is about contains, and the last one is calculate the histogram of values related to length of the string and values of the array. So in this case, what we can do, just to have a universal solution for this calculation of histogram that may be not complicated, but this will require some additional steps. We can also use for this solution to calculate histograms, we can also use the collections map class, but since we haven't learned about them at the moment, we can create more simple solution. So to calculate histogram, we'll just assume that we have limited number of characters, and in this case I will declare the array, Nonce. And here we will have the the array, which where we have the so we have indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, and then for each index will correspond to the length of the value in our main array. So we'll have the array of integers, and each index represents the length of the string. And for each length, we will actually count how many strings inside this array there are with the length of the corresponding index of this array. So in this case, we actually are limited with number of characters, because again the arrays cannot be unlimited. In this case, we can only have limited number of the characters for the array. In this case, we assume that we don't have the here we don't have the words with more than, let it be, 30 characters. Okay. So in this case, for this scenario, we won't have strings with more than 30 characters. Yeah, of course, this is not a universal solution in case we have more than 30 characters. To have it more universal, we must declare dynamic arrays, which may be a little bit complicated for us at the moment. That's why let's assume that we have a number of the characters. So this is one option. So for this option, let's calculate it, and then again go through all the elements here, and here we just simply once check the length of the string. So just simply increment the corresponding index, and at the end we'll go through all the elements of the length, and we'll print on histogram so here we have the sorry, that's not correct. We cannot use for each here, because we will need to have actually the value of the length, the index of the element on the array. So in this case we will need to use for into loop, plus. And so here I will type I, then I will type minus, just to distinguish them, and here I will type how how many words there are with the length I. Let's check. And so now we have the histogram. There are 0 words with length 0. Then we know that there are 3 words with length 3. 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 words with length 3, and we have 1 word length 4. This one. 5 words with length or 3 words with length 3. No, length 5. So the first one, second one, and the third one. Yeah, exactly 3 words. Then 1 word with 8 characters. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the only word with the length 13, this one. Okay. So here we calculate the histogram. Of course, this is not really a precise way because we cannot calculate, we cannot have more than 29 characters. A little bit later, we'll see how can we escape this problem. One of the maybe right now we can only better ideas, but yeah, we don't have so much knowledge at the moment to create a precise solution. At least I don't have any ideas how we can do it with the knowledge we already have. We already discussed. Yeah, if we declare dynamic arrays, we can do it. We will need collections to use it. But again, the topics about the collections we'll have it a little bit later. Alright, so I think for today that would be it, and for this year, this is it for this year. Next time we will continue with this practical assignment of the strings. So yeah, that's it for this year. Thank you very much. Have a happy new year to everyone. Celebrate it, and let's meet next year. Thank you very much, and have a nice celebration. Bye.